The journey through the Bible continues. And this day I'm doing the introduction of 2 Kings. The grace has carried us through. As we saw in the introduction of 1 Kings, 1 and 2 Kings originally was one book, which was known as the Book of the Kings. Hence, when we are reading, we should read it as one book. 2 Kings is a record of the principal events and characteristics of the reigns of the kings of Israel, which was made of 10 tribes, also known as the Northern Kingdom, and Judah, which was also known as the Southern Kingdom, and composed of 2 tribes after the death of King David. It is good to note that 2 Kings is also repeated in the other prophetic books that we shall read later on, and you get more insights of 2 Kings from these books. The author of this book is unknown, and the key verse of the book is chapter 17, verses 13 and 14. The book tells us of a downward trend of the nation that God had chosen as his nation. And you read the reign of evil kings, idolatry in the land, and also compromise of the whole society. You will also read the story of a few people who chose to be on God's side, regardless of the majority. You read about the Bethel prophets and others who are about 30 in the book. You also come across King Hezekiah and Josiah, who boldly dealt with the issues of idol worship in their time, and there was great revival in the land. You also read about the boldness of Elijah and Elisha in the midst of the backsliding. The book also tells us of the death of a nation whereby it collapsed and the people ended up in captivity. It started with the Northern Kingdom, or Israel, who were taken into exile by the Assyrians. And then later on, the Southern Kingdom, or Judah, that ended up in exile by the Babylonians. It is good to make note that in the Northern Kingdom, in the 2 Kings, 12 kings are mentioned, while 16 kings are mentioned in Judah. The outline of the book is a divided kingdom, which runs from chapter 1, verses 1 to chapter 17, verses 41. And in these verses, you read about Elijah's last ministry and translation as he was taken by the chariots of fire. Chapter 1, verses 1 to chapter 2, verses 11. Number 2, the ministry of Elisha. Chapter 2, verses 12 to chapter 8, verses 15. Number 3, the kings of Israel and Judah, and also Israel ending up in exile by the Assyria, which runs from chapter 8, verses 16 to chapter 17, verses 41. B, we see the surviving kingdom, which runs from chapter 18, verses 1 to chapter 25, verses 30. And through those verses, you read about the kings of Judah in chapter 18, verses 1 to chapter 24, verses 9. Number 2, Judah ends up in exile in Babylon, chapter 24, verses 10 to chapter 25, verses 30. There are many insights in the book. The three that I have chosen is number 1, evil or wickedness brings destruction to a nation, and obedience to God is possible in the midst of wickedness or evil. Number 2, even in dark periods, God will have a remnant, a faithful few whom he preserves as his remnant. Number 3, during dark times, it is also a time that men and women are called to be courageous as they defend their faith, and who can stand against the flow of the current of evil and proclaim the truth in the midst of wickedness. And this applies in our time, for it is our call at this particular time to stand for the truth and proclaim it. And my question is, as you read 2 Kings, will you stand for your faith? Will you be bold and courageous? Will you withstand the contrary flow of the current that is against Christ as the Redeemer of the world? May the Lord bless you as you go through 2 Kings. Shalom, shalom.